Hey there guys, and welcome back. As always, thank you so much for joining me here on the channel as we dive into some more movie news. So in this video, we're going to be checking out the Rotten Tomato score for The Ugly Stepsister. This is a body horror, crazy, over-the-top reimagining of the classic Cinderella story. The trailers have looked insane. There's people changing their bodies, cutting off body parts, all kinds of just ridiculous over-the-top stuff, and I'm so here for it. It looks crazy as hell. So before we get going, let's have a quick read of the synopsis to the movie. So for those of you who may not know what this is about, then we'll get into the tomato meter score, and we'll go over and check out the top critic reviews as well. So in a twisted take on the classic Cinderella story, The Ugly Stepsister follows Elvira as she battles to compete with her insanely beautiful stepsister. In a fairy tale kingdom where beauty is a brutal business, Elvira will go to any lengths to capture the prince's eye. The Ugly Stepsister is a gory tale of the blood and sweat, grit and gold that goes into making Elvira the belle of the ball. So yeah, a lot of body modification, crazy stuff that's going to be happening in this movie, and I'm so here for it. So, at the moment, this movie is sitting at a whopping 96%. As I've seen the trailers and the marketing, I thought, you know what, this is going to be a gimmick. It's going to be a bit of a horror reimagining of this classic tale. I thought, you know, some people will watch it and be interested, but 96% on the tomato meter from 55 reviews, that's insanely good. I'm all the more hyped to see this movie now. So, let's jump into these top critic reviews here. Starting off at the top here with Sight and Sound. Blichfeld. By the way, this name's going to keep cropping up, guys. Blichfeld is the director behind the movie, and I do apologise if I'm mispronouncing it, by the way. So, Blichfeld blends the more brutal folktale elements with phantasmatic longing to create a version of Cinderella where beauty is pain for some women, but life is pain for all of them. Okay, moving on to the next one, Perry Nemiroff. A wonderfully extreme spin on the Cinderella story that doesn't hold back, showing the lengths the title character goes to meet the Cinderella standards. A top-tier first feature for Emilia Blichfeld, and a staggeringly impressive debut for the lead, Leah Myron. Yeah, so the lengths that the title character goes to meet Cinderella standards. So that tells you everything there. The body horror is really going to be pushed in this movie. Moving on, from Slant Magazine, Emilia Blichfeld knows the exact point of queasiness to which she can push an audience and gradually tests how much further she can move that mark with each successive scene. So yeah, it's going to get ramped up throughout the movie to crazy degrees, the body horror. From Autostraddle, I should say. One of the best horror films of the decade so far. That is like big talk. When you start hearing people say that, that's crazy. So, from Mashable, The Ugly Stepsister is savagely brutal and yet strangely beautiful. Up next, we have The Hollywood Reporter. Blichfeld's aesthetic ambition, hyperpop prevails here, and a committed performance from Les Myron as the titular stepsister helps enliven a film that at times is weighed down by its more farcical antics. That's a very philosophical take there. I'm not sure I understood what that review was trying to say there, to be honest. So, from Roger Ebert, with her wonderfully expressive eyes, Myron is a revelation here, carefully maintaining the entire tone of the piece with Blichfeld. Okay, moving on, AV Club, an impressively nasty first feature from Norwegian filmmaker Emil Blichfeld. This is a grimmer than grim take on Cinderella. It's actually pretty close to the source material because the book is pretty graphic with sisters cutting off their toes and stuff, so it's pretty close to the source material in some ways. From IGN Movies, its point of view is specific to its teenage protagonist, which limits its emotional range, but it's effective as a grotesque spectacle. Grotesque spectacle, wow. Okay, from Variety, contrasting how her female characteristics feel with the expectations men put on them, Blichfeld makes it clear that the impossible beauty standards are the unfairest of them all, whether in the real world or this twisted fictional kingdom. So it has a lot of allegory about real world beauty standards built in the message of the narrative, basically. Moving on to IndieWire. While The Ugly Stepsister doesn't go much deeper than the Doctor's scalpel, the brazenly grotesque surface of the piece might just be deep enough. So, New York Magazine next. The Ugly Stepsister's grossness feels organic, both to its source material and to our own lives. From Screen International, the film ends up succeeding better as a stylish, graphic fairy tale riff than as a thoughtful exploration of the rigid definitions of female beauty. From Bloody Disgusting, instead of a whimsical romance set in the Renaissance, Blichfeld gets graphic with the medieval torture women endure in the pursuit of happiness ever after, It's elegant, stylish, and gnarly. Yeah, man, I'm just picturing what the graphic body horror is going to look like in this movie, and it's making me feel queasy already. So, from the wrap, the craft ensures the film succeeds at not just getting under the skin, but taking up residence there, burrowing right into the beating heart of the story, and coming away with a pound of flesh. Oh, yeah. And we have a negative review to finish off with from the Daily Beast. A rather obvious and pedestrian lesson, if one that's embellished with a few memorably macabre sights. So yeah, one person at the bottom, he didn't like it, but every other review is positive here. That's insanely crazy. So let's just go back over again. So the movie is sitting at a 96% from 55 reviews, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. I did talk about this movie a few weeks ago on the channel, so if you want to learn a bit more information, I'll put a link to another video that I did breaking down all the information about the movie. I'll put that in the description, check it out if you're interested in that. But yeah, I cannot believe this movie is at 96%. How crazy is that? Guys, you see these reviews here for this movie. Is this something you're interested in? A graphic, twisted, body horror take on the classic Cinderella story. Will you be checking this movie out once it drops? Whatever your thoughts are, jump into the comment section and let me know. As always, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber of the channel if you haven't done so far. It goes a long way to supporting my content, so I really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in the next video.